Right, matriculant. So, as a few students were having problems with financial maths messaging me, some I noticed from the tuition that we've had, and I know that the Lensa students are liking on financial maths. So, what I decided to do this week is some financial maths with you people. Love. So, the main thing is we're going to look at two types of questions of financial maths. It has all your present value formulas, all your formulas on how to work with loans, etc., as well as savings accounts and all of that there. So, if you're having a look at all financial maths questions, I will send these two financial maths questions that I'm going to be looking at specifically today into the group so that you all have a full on understanding as to how we are going to be doing these financial maths questions. Lovely. So, let me just open it up here. Lovely. So, as you can see, this here will be the financial maths question that we will be tackling today, right? As well as another one which I will show up later. But before I do anything with regards to financial maths, right? The main thing that I want to talk about right now is what? There's two types of formulas in our financial maths. Our present value formula and our future value formula. So I'm just going to go ahead and write those two formulas down. Future value is x all over into 1 plus your interest rate raised to the power n minus 1 over I over m. Right, and then we have our PV formula, present value, which is x into, or we can also use it as our outstanding balance method formula, which is 1 minus into 1 plus I raised to the negative n close it over I over m. Right, perfect. So these are the formulas that we're going to be using today. Only these two. But you'll see how important it is to actually identify which formula is specifically needed to be used and which formula will not be needed to be used. Right, so let us continue now with exactly the questions or the exam type questions that we will be getting. Alright, so it says question 7.1, right? So the main thing is when you're reading the question is you need to calculate your P, your A, your I, your N. Right, these are the main things. Now in place of P and A, watch what I do now. I now go in the right, it's either going to be my future value or my present value. Can you see? And X meaning monthly payments. X meaning what? Monthly payments. So can you see what I've done? I've made the question more easier for us to understand while we're reading through it live. So let's see. Exactly 5 years ago, Mpo bought a new car for 145,000. Lovely. So how much did he buy this new car for? Right, so let's say I raise all of this here because now this doesn't look like it's a future value formula. So it looks like we're going to go APIN. Input. Right. So he said he bought this car for 145,000 how many years ago? 5 years ago. So we know N is 5. We know that our present value 5 years ago was 145,000. The current book value of the car, so that's our book value right now of the car, is 72,500. Lovely. And then it depreciates using the reducing balance method. So, with regards to this here, the first thing that we're going to have to do here is figure out what's our reducing balance method formula. So what's my reducing balance? A is equals to P into 1 minus I raised to the power of n. Remember, they don't need to tell you whether it's compound monthly, compound quarterly. It only happens what? Downstairs. Every year. So it's always going to be what? Compounded yearly. Lovely. So if we go ahead now, we say 72,500. This becomes 145,000 into 1 minus my interest rate is what they want us to solve for, and n is 5. We now say 72,500 divided by 145, 1, 2, 3. is equals to 1 minus I to the power of 5. Then we do what? We fifth root it, so we get rid of the fifth root. Right. So we have the fifth root of 72,500 all over 145,000. Can you see what I'm doing is I'm just solving for I. I bring the 1 over, it becomes minus 1 is I. Then obviously, whatever that gives me, I need to multiply it by 100 to get it in percentage, and then I'll have my final answer. So let's go ahead and plug this in our calculator and see exactly what answer it gives us. Perfect. So, as you can see, we're now going to do what? We're going to say shift there, the fifth root, so we're going to change it to 5. Lovely. Right. The fifth root of, we're now going to open up that. We're going to say it was what? 72,500. So 72,500 all over. What else did it say? 145, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do what? Minus 1 from it. Exactly like that there. And we're going to say equals to. It gives us that. And we're going to say times it by 100. It gives us, as we can see, negative 12.9. But as you all know, it will be what downstairs, because remember that's supposed to be negative and then you divide it out by a negative. So it is giving us 0.129, so 12.9%. Quite simple, quite easy, not anything difficult or challenging. Right, let's have a look at the next question. Lovely. Right, so the next question says 7.2, right? It says Samuel took out a home loan. The first thing that we hear is a home loan. We know because it's a loan we work with which formula? PV, formula INX. Right. He took out a home loan for 500,000. So that's your present value formula. Can you see the reason I'm saying this is at 12% compounded monthly, so it's 12 divided by 12, right? Or you can just go ahead, if you don't want to write it out like that, you can just say compounded monthly. Quite simple, quite easy, right? And his first payment was made 1 month after the loan was granted, which is normal because it's not paying an extra payment. Calculate his monthly installment value. So X they want us to calculate, and it was for 20 years. 20 years. Lovely. And then they say calculate the value of his monthly installment. Alright. So, youngsters, the main thing that we're going to talk about this with regards to this is we know that we're using our present value formula. Remember, I told you keywords that you need to look out is loan, savings account, sinking fund. Those things are going to indicate as to what formula you're going to use. But also remember, if you have the money with you today, at that specific point you have the money, then it's present value. If you're only going to have the money in future, it's future value formula. Right, so let's go ahead here. They're basically telling us that we need to use this formula here. So we're going to now write out this formula. We're going to say 500,000, right, into 1 minus into 1 plus, what's my interest rate? It's 0.12 all over. Okay, so wait. Right, it's going to be 500, 1, 2, 3 is equals to x into all over 12. Right, lovely. So compound monthly 12 raised to the negative n. So it's for 20 years, so you're going to say 20 multiplied by 12, which gives us 240. So negative 240. Right, all over 0.12 all over 12. Now you're basically going to say x is equal to, you're going to take 500,000 and you're going to divide it by this entire thing here, 1 minus into 1 plus 0.12 all over 12, negative 240 all over 0.12 all over 12. And then you basically solve for x. Quite simple, quite easy. Let's see what it comes out to be, youngsters. Not such a bad question, quite a simple, quite an easy question, right? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to open up that, right? We're then going to say what? 500, 1, 2, 3, Then we're going to go all over, open up another one like that, and then we're going to say open brackets 1 minus into open brackets 1 plus 0.12 all over 12, right? Close the brackets, raised to the power of negative 240. Then we're going to go there, close out that bracket there, we're going to say 0.12. Right, just make sure when you're typing it, it comes out properly so you don't make any mistakes. All over 12. It gave you 5,505 pounds. So, as you can see, x, let's just say we round it off to the nearest two decimal, 5505,43. Quite simple, quite easy, right? Nothing major there. So I'm going to keep that question up because as you can see, these ones are going to have now follow-ups. So with regards to this follow-up questions, we can see exactly what is needed by us in order to get these questions right. Lovely. So let's have a look at the next question. Melissa took out a loan for the same amount. So she took out the same loan at the same interest rate as Samuel. But she decided that she's going to pay 6,000 a month. After how many months will she have settled the loan? So, let's have a look. Right, youngsters. It says we're going to use our present value formula. It's going to be 500, 1, 2, 3. We know that the interest rate will remain the same, so it's 12% compounded monthly. We know that n is what they want us to calculate, and they're giving us x to be 6,000. Now, so now we have all of these things here. We need to now see what's the n going to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to say 500,000 is equals to 6,000 into 1 minus into 1 plus 0,12 all over 12 raised to the negative n all over 0,12 all over 12. Now you need to calculate it. So it's going to be 500,000. You're going to multiply that 0,12 all over 12. You're going to divide it by the 6,000. Can you see? Youngsters, I do not plug any of this step by step in the calculator. Why? I do it one shot so I do not make mistakes with regards to my decimals or round off too early. Can you see? That's why I do it like this, and then I take it and I plug everything into the calculator. Now, then you're going to do what, youngsters? So now you have taken, get rid of all of that. You have 1 minus into 1 plus 0,12 all over 12 to the negative n. Now you take the 1 over, so it becomes 500, 1, 2, 3, multiplied by 0,12 all over 12, all over 6,000. You take the 1 over, it becomes minus 1. Then you do what to this specific thing? You can plug it down in your calculator, get your decimal. So it becomes what? N log of 1 plus 0,12 all over 12. Then because you add a log there, you need to do what? Add a log there. So it's log of this all over the log of 1 plus 0,12 all over 12. And then you'll get your final answer of A. So let's have a look at what our n now comes out to. Right, youngsters? Let's have a look at what this specific n comes out to. Right, so now we have it plugged in like that there as we're using our logs. If we go ahead and we try it out in our calculator, we're going to go ahead and say gonna go ahead and say something like this here. As you can see, it's going to be log of 1 over 6, close the brackets, all over log of 1 plus 0.12 all over 12, close that bracket over there, and then it should give you a final answer of negative 180. Obviously n was going to be negative here if you looked at it there, so it needs to be n must be 180 payments. As you can see, that's how you calculate our final answer. Remember, if you like a lot of this in your calculator, just try and put a negative sign before it or something, or else it won't work. Or if you want, plug this first in, get the bracket, that's what I got, and then I made it out of that bracket. Love. So that ensures that you're getting the question 100% correct. So we know that she done 180 payments, he done 240 payments. Lovely. So now let's look at the next question that they're asking us with regards to the specific financial maths question. So as you can see, I've tackled mostly in this question your present value formula, just to get you used to using it with regards to loans, etc. It says who pays more interest? Justify your answer. So our next question says we've given this and we've given that, who pays more interest? So now I'm going to answer this question in the small little block here over here. We know, let's talk about Samuel first. We know that Samuel made 240 payments of what? Of 5,505. So all we go is we say he made 240 payments multiplied by 5,505, 43. This is the total that he made now. We say 240 multiplied by 5,505.43. If you do that, you should get to 1,321,303. Right, I'm just rounding it off. We subtract the initial amount of 500,000 and then we get our interest. So if we subtract 500, 1, 2, 3 from there, we should get the interest of 821. 303. So we know how much interest Samuel now has paid. We now want to work out how much Melissa paid. So we say how many payments did she make? 180. So we say 180 multiplied by her amount, which is 6,000, which is now equals to 180 multiplied by 6,000 should give us 1080. 1080, 123 less than 500,000, which will now give us her interest rate. So it's going to be 1080, 123 minus the 500, 123. It gives us 580,000. So now you've seen that what do we do for that specific interest rate. So here, youngsters, it's not a matter of actually getting the question right or actually doing it. What happens here, boys and girls, is this you have to use some kind of your general knowledge, right? You have to make sure you do what? Use some kind of your general knowledge here. As you can see, most of the revision today that we've done with regards to finance is present value. But I like to say that if you need help, please message me. If you don't want to come in, we can have a Skype lesson one-on-one. If you don't want to have a Skype lesson and you want to come in, we can arrange a time for you to come in. Please, this is highly important for your guests, youngsters. So please ensure that you know how to do this, know how to work with it. As you can see, if we're looking at this specific one over here, it worked a lot with our present value. We had to solve for n. I hope you've seen how we do that. We had to solve over here for x. I hope you've seen how we do it. Make sure that you do not round off too early, because if you round off too early in questions, it's going to change your answers at the bottom. Then you're going to be thinking, what are you doing wrong? This is an easy section, you need to try and get it right. Understand that, the youngsters. Some questions like this here, you just have to use your general knowledge, but it's not, overall, it's not such a difficult question. So please ensure that you're practicing financial maths for your paper. I will do rate of change in calculus as well as stuff in your as well as the diagrams in calculus like volume, etc. with you people next week to have that there covered up. But please ensure that you go through this video on financial maths. It helps you guys out just to understand concepts, policies, etc. Good luck for you guys, people.